Hey, how you doing? This is Chef Jason Bruner, and this is Chef Talk. Today we have a special guest, first time on the podcast. This is Joe Horn. Joe, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Joe, we here in South Carolina,
And it's cold.
and it's cold. It was cold this morning.
No question.
About 35 degrees out there.
Yeah, it's cold, bro.
I looked this morning, we are the only, there's 3 states, us, Arkansas, and Florida, I think, the only people that didn't get snow this week.
That's amazing. We love the golf too. So looking at the weather, it was crazy to see.
We ain't getting out there for a while, Joe.
I don't know. Today's supposed to be 55. This is the high and sunny.
And sunny.
At 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. So I'm checking the weather.
Oh, you trying to get out there?
I may.
Okay.
I may do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So Joe, tell me a little bit about where you went to college at?
I went to Itawamba Junior College in Mississippi.
JUCO.
JUCO down in Mississippi, man. So
You came far from that JUCO.
yeah. So it was. I came long. We call it the long road.
The long
The
road.
long road, man.
So you didn't get that D1 scholarship, jump up there.
Yeah, I got it, but I was academically. I wasn't inclined to get my academics
Yeah.
right at the time.
You were just like every other young buck out there.
I was wild and free and not really paying attention like my girlfriend.
Okay.
So she went to UNC in
And
Chapel Hill, and I went to Mississippi.
Okay. Now where you from?
I'm originally from Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut.
New Haven, Connecticut. And then you got shipped down to Mississippi.
I actually went to North Carolina. My mom would move to North Carolina, to Durham. North
Okay.
Carolina, man. And so I was in.
So that's why the girlfriend went to Chapel Hill.
That's where I met her. Yeah, I met her.
And then
in
you went
North
off to
Carolina.
Mississippi.
Yep. So high school was North Carolina.
Okay.
Football, sports, went to Mississippi.
Okay. And then what you did in Mississippi? 4 years?
I went 2 years to JUCO.
2 years?
Went back home to North Carolina. Started working at Bojangles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was. I have a story, man.
See,
But
these are the good stories.
we don't have the time to talk about
These are the good ones,
my
though.
story. Yeah, man. So
For me, I don't really, I'm from a rough road too, trying to get to where I'm at. But those are the ones I think that kind of set a foundation.
no doubt.
So what happened after Bojangles? You were in there making chicken biscuits.
I was in there making Bo-Berry biscuits, Bojangles.
I still
all
think they got a hot biscuit. I mean, we on Chef Talk right now, so Bojangles, if you out there,
right up the street.
right up the street,
Right up the street.
you
bro.
let us know. We'll come on down.
Yeah.
So you went to Bojangles.
You ever worked in the
I did fast food one time, and it's funny. I went to McDonald's to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
They had a job at $8.75 an hour, and then the guy said, "We're looking for a maintenance guy. Do you do any maintenance?" I said,
Wow.
"How much does the maintenance job pay?"
Mhm.
He said, $12. I said, "I can do maintenance."
You got to do that.
Yeah, and Joe, I hate to say this, but I got fired.
How long?
I was there about 3 weeks, and we were right next to an all-girls school, Archbishop Blank.
Oh,
And
gosh.
man, I used to love to be out there sweeping the parking lots in the morning when they were driving around, and
Yeah.
I got caught talking to a car and not working, and young and dumb, and I got fired.
That comes with it, though. That's all a part of it.
I ain't been fired too many times, so I was, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's good. Yes,
So, but I had my stint in some fast food and stuff and jumped around in some corporate stuff. I did anything from Red Lobster, and now we're doing some big
You're
things.
big balling now.
We're trying.
Now
We're
you're
trying.
big balling, yeah.
So what happened after JUCO? You went back to Bojangles. So football was almost.
Football was still in it. I went back from JUCO and started working back at home with my mom. Well, not with my mom, but I moved in back with my parents.
Yeah.
With my mother, and started working at different odd jobs, man, trying to go back and forth from Mississippi.
Trying to get it.
Trying to get it. I was.
So where was the football in this?
Well, really, after high school and after JUCO, when I went back home, I just started training on my own.
Okay. So you had to put in the work yourself.
No question.
Nobody around. Nobody get you up.
No.
Wake up, Joe. Do this.
I had a homeboy, a friend that was real close to me that both of us was trying to survive and get to a junior college.
And so he was pushing.
We were pushing each other every day. And I was just, working out, trying to prepare in case I got my shot. A lot of kids nowadays, they expect for you to you can jump out of bed and just go make it. But I was trying to prepare my body.
Yeah.
Doing drills, stuff like that.
You trying to stand up to all that wear and tear.
Yeah. So when I got my shot, my agent came in. I found an agent.
Okay.
Took a chance at me, man, and I was ready. So when I got my first opportunity to work out.
So where'd you do a workout?
And it's a Methodist college.
Okay.
Down in North Carolina.
Okay.
So.
And you got to work out with them.
I got to work out. I got an agent actually, man. And then he was like, look, let's try to get a workout with a professional team. So then the Canadian League teams, I started working out.
That's right.
NFL team. So man, when I thought I was going to be in the NFL, I was going to have a chance. They told me, nah, brother, you just left junior college. You got to go.
You were swole up for a minute, and then they kind of humbled you again.
Yeah, you have to. You just can't get to the NFL. You got to go play some Canadian League ball. So man, that's what I did.
So you went out to Canada.
Actually, I went to Memphis, Tennessee. I went back to Mississippi because Memphis, Tennessee had a Canadian League football team. All the American teams came.
Oh.
Louisiana had a team. Well, they have teams now in the United States.
Yeah.
So they tried that. So I made the Memphis Mad Dog team.
The Memphis Mad Dogs.
Pepper Rogers. Yeah, a bunch of old coaches that got together. So
yeah.
I went back to Mississippi, man, when I had my first child, my first daughter.
Okay.
And I was right there in Tupelo, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Drive.
Okay.
Man, so I was blessed enough to make it.
So you had your first child, and you were trying to work out all at the same time.
Yep. Riding back and forth an hour and a half in a big bus, man.
Getting it.
Trying to get it, brother.
See, that's what I'm telling everybody out there. So you can't give up. No matter what you doing out there, you can't give up. So tell me what went from there. You was in Memphis, playing for the Canadian League.
Played with the Canadian League. Played a year with the Memphis Mad Dogs, man. Actually, was working hard, trying to get to the next level because so many people were stepping on me on my way up.
The next level is
it's big. So I knew I had to shine and I had to blow up the Canadian League.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
Went out there shining.
I went to Memphis, man. I was up for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Right out of JUCO, you know what I'm saying? I was still young.
You were looking real good.
Yeah.
Some Jerry Rice stuff.
Close. I trained like
I think Jerry came from JUCO too.
Jerry Rice went to Mississippi Valley State.
Okay.
It's what they call FBU, not FBU school. What's the black schools?
It ain't D1.
No.
That's the HBCU.
HBCU.
Yeah. Okay.
So he went to that. He went to Valley, and I knew that. I knew what was around me. I knew the greatness that was around my head. I just had
so you knew it was there.
Yeah.
Right in reach.
No question.
Okay. So we're in Memphis.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
Man, I had a great year.
You got Rookie of the Year.
You
was up for it.
I was up for it. Kid, another guy got it.
Man, just to be nominated, you was feeling good.
Yeah. So it was a 2-year deal with Memphis.
Okay.
I played my first year. The league folded. So all our contracts had to go to the Canadian League. So we were up for other teams, Calgary, Montreal, British
So somebody had to come down and pick you up.
Our contracts went to those other teams. So
you didn't even know where you were going.
Yeah. So
you were just a paperwork at that time.
Yeah, actually, I was the first. It was a draft coming up on my agent. They sent Canadian League. Memphis sent my contract to the wrong address. It was, man. That's a story. My agent tells me today, we got it. It's a movie out of this. He got everything packed up how they did it.
Ready to go.
So, man, when it went to the wrong address, he was like, they can't do this. If it doesn't go to the right address and it doesn't sign it, it's voided. But I didn't have a lawyer, attorney, smart agent.
So he knew that contract was voided just because it went to the wrong address.
So you
were able to get out of that.
No. Well, but they played him. They was like, whatever. Joe Horn, I was the top 2 draft pick.
Oh, so they draft. So you were in there.
What?
They wasn't losing that paperwork.
On draft day, Calgary, I was the first pick of the draft.
Ooh.
Calgary of the
Some
draft.
Doug Flutie stuff.
Man, my agent called the day of the draft and said, if you guys don't take Joe Horn out of the draft, we're gonna sue you for whatever. All the law language.
Yeah.
He had it. Man, they were
released
mad,
you.
They were pissed off, but he called me and said, we're free to go to the NFL. So I went, I'm thinking, I'm in the league now. I'm good. I'm being,
Yeah. Where I'm going now?
Bro, he called me and said, you got to come back to North Carolina to work out like all the other college guys because although you did go to junior college 2 years.
Right.
You did play Canadian League.
Right.
You still considered a 3-year junior in school, so you got to come back and train. I was so pissed off. But I had to go back anyway. I had to go back to North Carolina to start training like I was at a Duke or a Carolina.
Right. So you're upset that you got to go back, but I
played a whole professional year already, 1,400 yards. I'm like, I can go straight to the league now, get paid. I was broke, didn't have no money, had a baby. I'm
struggling,
man.
And still had to do something about money. You had to do something about the workout.
I didn't have a dime.
And you still got to grind because you can't let your body go.
It's like I'm a professional, I'm balling, I'm now on TV, on ESPN, but I got to go right back
To where it all started.
To where it all started at, man. So I'm
eating at the same Bojangles you just working at.
Bojangles, and no question. No question. Literally.
Okay.
So, man, I'm a big believer in faith.
Okay, yeah, I am too.
I believe in faith, and what's something meant to happen always happens.
That's right.
So I knew this was happening for a reason.
Okay, so when did you get the call?
Got the call to go back to start training for the NFL.
Okay.
So I went back to Methodist College.
All right.
Started training there. All the NFL teams were working me out. The Chiefs. I was still feeling good because I had.
So everybody's looking.
They looking.
But you still putting in the work, but nobody's saying anything.
No, they still thinking. The guys thinking when they saw me back in Fayetteville, they was like, "Man, Joe," because I was shooting basketball too. I was staying in shape, but I was still young, still competing, doing stupid stuff, but not knowing you don't need to be playing basketball. You
can't be out on the court just balling with everybody.
So I was training for the draft, but people thought I was still in the selling. Some guy came up to me and said, "Man, you selling drugs? We heard that you in Cape." They thought I was at home back in the hood.
Yeah, doing whatever. Just in the street.
But I was still grinding.
Yeah. But they can't see that.
They didn't see it.
Okay. So, NFL.
Then I went back to Mississippi, back to Mississippi after I trained.
Okay.
The draft coming up, and people were like, Joe, what you back in Mississippi for? You want a job? I said, yeah, I went back and actually got a job at Westwood Furniture Company.
Yeah, I love that. These are parts of life.
It was crazy, man. I was actually making furniture in Mississippi. So, man, draft day comes around, man. All of a sudden, man, I'm sitting around. I went to Kansas City on a visit.
Okay. So you go out and see the Chiefs?
I saw the Chiefs.
Meet everybody, look at the facilities.
Actually, a guy up the street that wanted to
do the whole dog and pony show.
Whole dog and pony show. So nobody's still thinking I'm in the draft.
That's right.
Mississippi.
You building furniture.
Man, I'm out in the yard running. I'm jogging around, and all of a sudden, man, I knew I wasn't gonna be a first round draft pick, but I had a great workout with the Chiefs.
Okay, so you're thinking second round, maybe?
I'm thinking
get picked up. Okay,
bro. I'm thinking I'm not even. I'm a regular guy. They don't know me from the Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, I hear Mel Kiper, the guy who knows so much about who's going to get drafted, where they're from. He mentions me in the second day like sleeper. I was a sleeper. They brought my Canadian League.
Sleeper's gonna be good though.
They brought my Canadian League film.
And they showing that.
I'm like, oh, I might have an opportunity.
So they showing that.
Yeah.
So now you start watching.
Second day, I'm like,
you're not out there jogging no more.
No, I don't see my name. I'm like, this ain't happening. So man, the third day, bro, I got a call, man. Marty Schottenheimer called me, man.
Okay.
And he just, that's a whole story. He just passed last week. But anyway.
He just passed last week.
Yeah, Coach Schottenheimer. He passed away last week, man. And that was hard for me. But anyway, he called me up and he was like, "You ready to be a Chief?" And I was like,
"Okay,
Coach." Man, it's a country dude back in Mississippi.
I'm ready to be whatever team is on that NFL roster.
He said, "We about to pick you here in the 5th round." He said, "Let me tell you something, Joe Horn." He said, "The only reason I'm calling you for the 5th round," he says, because we drafted defense this year. I needed a defense. He said, had I needed anyone on offense,
they would already got you.
He said, you would have been my 1st round pick in the first. I'm letting you know.
But they putting all that together. Them guys in the office, they putting all that, telling him he's got to stay with defense.
Yeah, he was rebuilding on defense because we had a great offense.
And so he's been seeing you, so he's sliding you in.
Oh man, so he was like,
so he's giving you that shot.
I was the first pick for an offensive player for the Chiefs in the 5th round.
Yeah, okay. So,
man, I'm thinking, my agent now hit me up, and I'm just ecstatic. My wife.
About to put that red hat on.
Man, it was crazy, man. So I got back, went in the crib. Now I'm feeling myself.
Okay.
Everybody called. I'm like, my mom, like, is this? My mom was in Baltimore, Maryland.
Is this real?
Is this the Joe Horn?
Everybody
shocked. Shut. They all shocked because they don't understand. Wait a minute, we're not expecting you to be on national TV. We knew you played in the Canadian League.
Right.
They didn't know everything that was happening.
Well, Joe, you're building furniture at this time, and now you're on the Kansas City Chiefs.
No question.
On the team.
I'm drafted by the Chiefs now.
5th round.
$80,000 up front.
That ain't no furniture money.
I'm just saying, it was small dollars to the cats. That was big time, but to me, Mississippi, I took that.
We're ready.
I went to Mississippi, man. I signed the contract, went to Kansas City, came back, my little $65,000 check in my hand.
Right. Riding. Sam took years. Quick.
Riding Greyhound buses back and forth to Mississippi to junior college. I took a Greyhound bus with my check.
In the pocket.
And looking at it, on the whole ride back to North Carolina, I took a Greyhound bus just to look at that check.
Feeling righteous.
Yeah, man. So it was cool. I knew I had an opportunity.
That was a good, humble experience, though. You're still on the Greyhound.
Still on the Greyhound.
But you got your money.
Yes, sir.
And you got to start. 5th round, I mean, that ain't no guarantee.
No.
You got to get out there and show.
And, man, the Chiefs, you got all these guys. You got, I was playing with 3 Hall of Famers. I mean,
trying to make it to that roster.
Come on, Marcus Allen, Derek Thomas.
Ooh.
I was in with the team that was highly 13-1 one year, Marty Schottenheimer era, and I had to go and try to make it, man. So I did what I had to do.
So how many years with the Chiefs?
Played 4 years with the Chiefs through that era. Broke my leg broke my ankle my first year there.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Playing basketball.
Oh, they were hating on you for that one.
Yeah, but it was like I said, I believe in fate, man, and it was meant to happen.
Okay, so you got yourself.
Kept grinding, and they saw the talent that I had because in practice I had to build myself up in practice, and that's what they do in professional sports. A person that they draft in the 5th round, 6th round, free agent, he have less opportunities than the guys in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd round.
Yeah, you ain't getting that many touches
because they got millions of dollars invested in these guys.
Yeah,
but my touches in practice was crazy. I was killing the guys that were 1st rounders, that was on the team veterans.
Yeah.
So they knew that Marty knew
running them routes like nobody business.
Yeah, he called me his diamond in the rough.
Okay.
Marty, so I knew my opportunities there were going to be good, and I was going to.
So he was polishing you up the whole time.
No question.
Ooh.
So Kansas City, that's when I started, and that's when I got my shot.
Okay. Now tell me the next road.
Marty retired.
Okay.
Football. Gunther Cunningham was the head coach, and I had an opportunity. Andre Rison came. I was with stars and Hall of Famers, and had my opportunity to be the man once they left. And once they left, I was still that 4th, 5th receiver.
Right.
And I came in. Gunther gave me an opportunity to play. I came in and played and showed flashes of brilliance.
Yeah.
And
so when you were that 4th or 5th guy, every time you touch the field, you got to make something happen.
It's called in life, not just football. It's called a window of opportunity. Being a chef, being a teacher, whatever you do in your professional, you're going to have a window of opportunity where you slide through. And when you have a person that's in high ranking watching you, you better shine and you better do the right thing and you better have prepared. If your preparation doesn't meet that opportunity of that window that professional watching you, you can go right by to heat the next person's up.
So all that jogging in North Carolina, all that work in Mississippi,
I was ready, bro.
all them Greyhound bus rides back to Tennessee.
So I tell kids that. I said, don't get ready.
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
Woohoo! I like it.
I tell the kids when I talk to them all over the world when I have football camps and stuff.
Yeah.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Okay.
So I did that. And my opportunity came. I had 6 touchdowns my last year there as a free agent. And Mike McCarthy, who was the quarterback coach with the Chiefs, he left and went to New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints now. I know all my boys down there. This is what y'all want to hear.
Yeah.
So you get the opportunity. He goes down there, but he already knows you.
He know me. He know it's a kid in Kansas City that y'all don't know about. I know about. The general manager for the Seahawks at the time, Randy Mueller, was the new general manager for the Saints. He was with the Seahawks.
Okay.
But I went to the Seahawks. Mind you, I was the 4th receiver. I went to the Seahawks that year and killed their 1st round draft pick as a 5th rounder. So he saw my potential.
So he knew you too. So when they came back and linked up together,
Mike McCarthy said, "We got to get Joe Horn,"
and that was it.
And he said, "I remember Joe Horn. He hit us for 100-some yards, and he was a 5th receiver. So yeah, let's go get him. Let's try to get him." So my agent, at the end of my year, I wanted to stay in Kansas City so bad. Derek Thomas, the late great Derek Thomas, passed away while I was there. Man, my last year, me and his locker was side by side. Ooh. Derek Thomas' locker here, my locker here, and he actually made room for me. When the media would come in, I would have to wait because I was a small peon to them.
So they were all gathered around him. You couldn't even get to the locker.
But I had to. He said, if you earn your keeps here, I'll make sure there's locker. The media, he drew a line down the chalkboard and told the media after I made some plays on special teams and got active, he said, do not go in Hollywood. He called me Hollywood. Okay. That's why.
Well, that's what we know you as now.
Derek Thomas.
Come on now.
Derek Thomas gave me that name because I used to outdress those guys. They used to wear $3,000 suits, and I used to go to Harold Penner, which was a cheap suit place, $99 suit, and I used to put suits together and come on the plane, and they'd be like, Hollywood. how did you get, man?
So you took a couple ties from this one, a couple shirts from that one, and made your own stuff.
My $200 suit made their $2,000 suit look stupid.
Oh,
that's how I got the name. But anyway, Derek gave me that respect, and man, I was still a free agent, and I wanted to stay with the Chiefs, and I wanted them to give me $1 million up front because hey, Marty drafted me here. My family's here. I moved right here. It's time for me to win a Super Bowl here. Let me stay here. And they, So
you had, look, they don't have that loyalty now these days.
There's no loyalty in professional sports.
But you were trying.
I understand. I learned that there's no loyalty in professional sports.
It's a business.
It's a business. I learned that at an early,
no matter how much they like it, it's money.
It's money at the end of the day.
Right.
They may like you as a person,
right?
But financially, if you're going to cost them a couple of million, they're thinking about their grandkids' kids, and they're keeping the money.
That bottom line.
Bottom line, brother. And in any business,
you got you.
Same thing, right? With your
For me, look, we had that pandemic recently, and we don't want to let people go. I got employees here, man, been with me for 3-4 years, and to let them go. And hope they don't go get another job.
So when so you have them when they come back.
Yeah, man, you appreciate those people.
So you understand it, man. It's just,
so you get down to New Orleans, and you're fresh.
Mike McCarthy called, Randy Mueller called my agent. Was like,
now you what? Top 3?
They bringing me in to be the man.
Listen, I'm a Saints diehard. You know that from New Orleans, born and raised. Yeah. We went through a time when we had bags on our heads.
I heard all the stories.
We went through a time when we had blackouts in our local. We couldn't even watch it because we didn't sell out. Like, there was a lot of stuff.
No question.
And you came in, and that was a building block for us.
Yeah, they didn't even think I wasn't supposed to be the man when I came in. Jake Reed was. The Saints signed Jake Reed, so everybody in New Orleans was like, we got Jake Reed, he's a veteran.
Yeah.
They got some young kid, they didn't know who.
Try to think who the quarterback. It wasn't Aaron Brooks, it was
Jeff Blake.
Jeff Blake.
He was the big signee.
He was.
Everybody loved Jeff Blake. They said, we got something new coming. So, I knew it was my opportunity then, after all those years, all that grinding, Kansas City Chiefs era. I said, Joe, this is your city. You want to be here, you should be here, because everybody they always joked about the Saints. And that was one of the reasons I didn't go to the Raiders. I could have went to the Raiders with Rich Gannon.
Well, all the Saints fans out there, we're glad you didn't go to the Raiders.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, bags over their head. The Saints, everybody looking down on the Saints. I said, I'm going to be a part of some history here.
Okay.
I'm going to bring back the
So that's what you was thinking inside.
Man, in my whole mind, I had a blueprint.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to win. That's why every time a reporter asked me in New Orleans, what do you guys think your record going to be this year? What do you guys think? I can't understand it when a professional athlete say, we're
10-2.
I said, I'm looking to be 16-0.
Yeah, every game.
Where am I going to be that game? I'm telling you that we're going to lose.
No, absolutely not.
My attitude and what I brought to New Orleans, I tried to change the doggone.
You come off there playing with one of them suits on?
Nah, I came off the plane with a jumpsuit on this time.
Okay.
This time
you were trying to be a little humble coming in.
Yeah, I was calling a professional tailor.
Okay, so you got that check.
No question.
Okay.
So, everything is.
So you first get in there. Tell me about first season.
Well, the first season, man, there was a training camp, man. It was 100 degrees.
You from Kansas City. You coming down to 100% humidity.
But I knew about the heat a little bit because Mississippi and
we got the outside training facility, which is over there on Airline Highway.
Thibodeau.
Ooh, that's where we're at. Thibodeau.
Man, we took it to Thibodeau, and it was hot. And I said, you know what, Joe? This is the grind. This is a part of what you worked on. You used to the hot weather anyway. We went to Jackson, 1 year or two.
Okay.
And in the South, I don't know if anyone knows. Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, almost neck and neck. They're right there. It's like a 2-3 hour drive, but the sun is the seal of the sun. It could be 100 in Louisiana, and Jackson's going to be 98, 99.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway,
you're feeling it.
Went through there, man. Mike McCarthy, who's a genius as an offensive coordinator, obviously people know he won the Super Bowl with the Packers.
That's right. That's right.
With the Cowboys now. Number 10 pick, J.C. Horn.
Now you know we Gamecock country.
No question, Gamecock
country. So, J.C., hey, look, that first year, they didn't want to throw to his side. Everybody kept saying, where's the interception? Where's the interception? Where you gonna get an interception with nobody throwing at you?
Yeah, so,
they know that's locked down.
Boy, my son, he's humble, but he came to South Carolina to win it. And the most humble thing about it, here, talking Carolina, switching it up, talking about the Gamecocks, my son didn't want to opt out. It hurt him. I had to see the tears when all the Gamecock fans were like, this Jason Horn, he's selfish, he's quitting. He had possible sickness, and it was a lot of sickness, COVID in the family. His auntie was on the ventilator. Oh, to see the Gamecocks fans didn't know that Jason was going through some stuff outside football. Plus, it wasn't that they were losing.
Life can hit you
because he's not a quitter.
No,
but he had to come to me after the Ole Miss game with tears in his eyes. I had to say, son, you got to shut it down.
Yeah,
I understand you want to play. I understand your teammates, you want to leave them.
Right.
I said, but it's another story that you gonna have. You
got a pandemic. This is something that nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not talking about just the money, but at the end of the day, let's be real here.
Yeah. You can't grind your whole life and you're trying to get to that paycheck.
And you're risking it.
You know how many people don't make it?
Yeah.
D1, we can go on and on, JUCO college. There's a lot of people that just don't get that far.
Yeah. So that's what I was basically telling him. Okay, son, here's the deal. You go out there, you play, you tear your knee because you're out there trying to grind and hustle, and now your career is over because you made that decision. You can do that, or you can say, let me make the smart decision.
So you're giving him a professional opinion that you've already been through it.
And if he would have said, Daddy, I'm going to rock out the rest of the year, I'm like, okay, let's rock out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, he loved South Carolina. He loved the Gamecocks. He wouldn't have came here if he didn't.
Oh, yeah.
And he loved the grind, too.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought up Mike McCarthy. He's the head coach for the Cowboys now. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of people on the Sertan and the guy.
They're gonna try to pick him up.
I think they're gonna snatch him at 10 if he's still available. So we'll see. That's the grind and important and the good thing about faith to me that things line up in your life that you never understand.
Stay on that path.
You gotta stay on the path. Keep grinding and let the chips fall where they may.
Stay on the path. So now you in New Orleans. Yep. It's you going through Thibodeau. You're dealing with the heat, and now it's showtime.
It's showtime, man. And I knew right then and there, it's time to rock and roll, man. So Jeff Blake came on doing his thing, and he got hurt after the third, fourth game. Here come a young kid out of Virginia, Aaron Brooks, who was wet behind the ears. And we were all just trying to find our way. But we had a great offensive coordinator who put the pieces of the puzzle together. Jim Haslett was a defensive coordinator.
Right.
And so I think our first year we were 10-5. We had a decent year, I think, first year. And, after that,
10-5, we were taking that.
Yeah.
We were taking that as Saints fans. We were taking that.
No question. So we started getting a little more respect. And then Katrina came after my, third, fourth year. Katrina.
That's right. That's right.
It was building up, and we built up a team for 4 years. And Jim Haslett finally got it where the defense was Pro Bowlers, the defensive line was stupid.
Yeah.
We had
that was that still the Dome Patrol?
No, they were
good. No, that was right past that. But you still had what?
Sammy Knight, Hand, Joe Johnson.
Ooh.
We had Charlie Clemens. We had a defense that was rolling, and the offense was clicking. Jerome Pathon, Joe Horn now, Dante Stallworth, Aaron Brooks was coming to his.
I like Stallworth.
Deuce McAllister was shining.
Ooh,
and
Deuce.
Reggie Bush was in the draft.
Well, Reggie Bush wasn't there yet.
After Katrina, he was a first round pick.
That's right.
So man, we were building it, and Katrina came, and we went down to Texas and everything.
That was rough.
After Katrina, man, everybody started going their different ways, and I was going to come back to New Orleans regardless.
Right.
I was threatening to retire because I didn't think that the team should be in Texas after all the Saints fans. And
you know, living in New Orleans, and I lived a lot of places, Joe. That culture, even though I'm from there and I'm a diehard Saints fan, that culture's different.
Oh, no question. I know.
We are different from everywhere else in this United States of America. I mean,
I was in Kansas City.
We drink and we football.
No question.
I mean, they live and breathe that black and gold.
Yeah. The Chiefs, I was with the Chiefs. The Chiefs sell out for the next, I'm quite sure they sold out for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
But the Sea of Red, and I'm going to give a little respect to Kansas City.
Okay.
They
show up.
Their fan base.
Yeah, they show up in 10-degree weather.
10 below. 6 feet of snow. So I'm going to give them that respect because I started there.
Right.
But it ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing like that black and gold.
And I'm not saying fans won't give up their life for their team because that's how much they love the
Yeah, I mean, good, bad, or ugly, that's true.
I know that.
Good, bad, or ugly, they gonna ride or die for.
It ain't no saying fans. Excuse me, it ain't no fans like the Saints. I'm talking about literally.
I know, man. Yeah. Look, I've been down there, win, lose, or draw, man. Like I said, they had bags on our heads for a little bit. Yeah. Still at the game. They're like, look, we ain't gonna show our faces here, but we here.
That's why when Hurricane Katrina was over with a little bit, and reconstruction was having to happen.
They were trying, yep.
I had to tell the world, and I had to tell Mr. Tagliabue and the NFL, you guys don't understand what I understand. Mr. Benson and the Benson family financially would have been great because he's from there.
Yeah.
To be in San Antonio, I was just starting to golf. Hey, I had a house on the golf course. To be there would have been great, but at the end of the day, my soul wouldn't rest right in Texas, knowing that New Orleans bred me.
Right.
So I had to go back, and it was only the right thing to do.
That's right.
So I called the NFL out. I put them on blast, and I'm like, y'all wrong. Y'all, we can go back and rebuild. I said, what would it be for the NFL to bring the Saints back and rebuild?
After something that's so dramatic, like
you guys would be
people were displaced. I was in Danbury, Connecticut. I was living on the North Shore. House went underwater. Mama said, look, we ain't gonna do this no more. Moved me up to Danbury, Connecticut. That's what started this whole thing. I ended up at the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America. She said, go check out that school. I said, we can't afford that school. Some little old lady in there seen my ID from New Orleans and waived some of my fees. Got me in there. Felt bad for me from where I was from, all the stuff we were dealing with, and kind of pushed me that way. Got me in there. So that was like...
That was your path. It
was a rebirth. I know. You're a faith guy. I should have been there.
No, you were supposed to be there.
I know. I got there.
I know you're like, what am I doing? But in reality, people wonder what they do in their lives and why are they where they are. But to me, it's the path that the Most High God, whoever you believe in,
right?
Allah, Jesus, Buddha, whatever you believe in, that's that path. Your ancestors, that's the path that is going to be your path. You don't know it, but you live in it. So,
and as long as you stay firm, you stay righteous,
do what you got to do.
Kind of cruise down that path, you're gonna be on the way you need to be. So when you got back, so you came back to New Orleans after that.
Yeah, we came back to New Orleans, and that's when they was rebuilding. Dome, they said there would never be another game played in the Dome.
Right, I remember that.
After all the lives were lost, all the water, the reconstruction, I was like, please, that Dome will open up again. And I was the first one with a white helmet on. They actually, me and Ben Singer, the guy.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's pretty big right now, but me and him went and he took us around and we did a Best Damn Sports. I don't know if it was Best Damn Sports that damn John Sally or the Big Greg. I forgot his name. The Ben Singer show.
Right.
He had me on, and we went through the Katrina, we went through everything that was going on, and we walked in the Dome, and I had that hat on. And they were still building it, and it was, man.
And you knew it was coming back.
Yeah, because I heard the stories that went on inside there. Some people don't know.
Oh, man. They had everything from
I heard
murder.
I went to the Houston.
Rape.
To the Astrodome.
I mean, it was crazy.
I talked to the guys that were in there and stayed in there those nights. When I went back from the Raiders, we had a preseason game.
Yeah.
When Katrina went on, we flew back in. I went straight to where all the people that were going to at the Dome in Houston.
You went down there.
Man,
you had to see it.
I didn't go to
the hotel,
Mississippi to see my kids.
Yeah.
I got a limo driver. My limo driver and my friend Terrence Rice took the limo. I took $60,000 cash, I think, with me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You were showing love. You can just say that's a good thing.
I took money with me and I said, you know what? I know I won't be able to help everybody.
Right.
But everybody I see,
showing something.
I'm passing out, man. Whatever I can to show them.
$200 here, $100
I didn't see no movie stars. I didn't see
nobody.
I didn't see none of them.
Nobody.
But anyway, I went there and I heard the stories, man. And it was.
So you was hearing firsthand. Yeah. You were on the ground. That's what a lot of people don't understand when stuff like that happens. It's not they get no help. They gotta get on the ground, man. On the ground and see exactly what's going on. Yeah. Because that destroyed thousands and thousands of lives. Yeah. So what I want to know, Joe, and everybody want to know this. Tell me when you put that damn cell phone out there, Joe.
Yeah.
Tell me when you put the cell phone out there. Everybody. So I asked the people from New Orleans, I said, look, I got Joe coming on the podcast. I said, what y'all want to know? Right. You know how many people said, tell me about the cell phone?
Well, it was.
Because you started that whole, look, before that, there was some celebration. There was fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, like watching football as a kid and coming up, you kind of started that whole trend. Now they out there with faking the bowling and laying down, posing. And
in New Orleans, I wanted to do everything I could to bring attention to New Orleans.
Well, you was already kind of flashy.
Yeah.
Back in Kansas City with them $200 suits.
I had it in
you coming out looking
But in New Orleans, I was going to bring it out.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? This is a city everybody disrespect as far as football. They laugh at it.
Right.
Because I went to the Pro Bowl. And when I went to the Pro Bowl, there's a thing that they do. They exchange helmets. All the players in the locker room, they exchange helmets with each other. But I knew the era that the Saints used to go through, and I knew how many people in their heart of hearts didn't like us. We were the underdogs to a lot of people. So when I had my helmet, man, I had an attitude in Hawaii. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Warren Sapp, all those guys that was there, Derek Brooks. I kept my helmet. I said, if they don't come up to me and ask me for my helmet, I'm not asking for theirs. I took the New Orleans Saints attitude fans with me to Hawaii.
Ready to go.
I didn't care if they said nothing to me. I'm here. I'm representing the Saints, period. And if you don't ask me for my helmet, I'm not giving you my helmet. I'm going to keep my helmet and bring it back and give it to a fan from New Orleans.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
But David Akers, a field goal kicker from the Eagles.
From the Eagles?
Very well known.
Okay.
He walked up and he said, Joe, man, he said, I know a lot of guys not in no action, man. Would you mind giving me your helmet? And I took me 30 seconds.
You thought about that?
I was like.
You thought about that? Because you had that chip on your shoulder.
Because they're a field goal kicker.
Yeah.
But
why is he? But then you respect it. Oh, I knew it.
It was meant for me. I knew right then and there. I'm learning still that fate. I'm learning this thing like, what?
Okay.
A field goal kicker's supposed to, Joe, this is supposed to happen.
Okay.
I said, you know what? I'm not going to be cocky and say, I already promised somebody to help me. Because that flashed my mind too.
Okay.
I'm like, or Joe, my humbleness. I started thinking about 100-degree weather, working out in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I started thinking about making $300 a week playing Canadian League football.
Yeah.
I started thinking about
building that furniture. The great house buses.
And I said, who are you? Who are you to sit here in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And hold your helmet when a kicker actually get it?
Yeah.
I said, Akers, come here, man. I said, thank you. I said, give me your helmet.
Now give me his name again.
David Akers.
Shout out David Akers. Yeah. We love you down there in the city of New Orleans. You come on down here. We got some of that gumbo for you.
That's what's up. And he signed his helmet, man. I signed mine. I gave it to him, brother. And I kept that helmet with me.
You still got that helmet?
Still got that helmet, man. So that was one of the stories down in Hawaii, man. So I had an attitude with me. So when I got back to New Orleans, I was on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, you were shy.
We on the map now. So now it's time for me to shake it up and bring these cameras to New Orleans.
Okay.
I said, the only way. Because when I caught a touchdown, I would dance and shake.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw other guys around the league seeing that, so they started doing stuff.
But New Orleans had a whole nother vibe. You were vibing on our vibe.
I'll catch it. If I caught a first down, I'm letting all 45, 50,000 know that it's going down.
Okay.
I'm shaking. I'm getting flags. I didn't care, man. Like, you know what? Forget it. So,
That's why that city embraced you?
Oh, yeah.
Because they felt that what you were doing, like you talk about that faith and stuff, but I really believe that they felt that vibe coming off of you. And they felt that you were doing that because of that. Now, everybody going to know now that you were doing that because everybody was looking, we was the underdogs, and you were trying to bring us to the forefront. But when you were doing that just regular, we were...
Yeah. I mean, Chef.
You had everybody there on your back.
In Louisiana, and they still are.
Oh, yeah.
And Louisiana is so crazy because I went out places. I didn't party. A lot of people thought because I was Hollywood, I didn't go out to the clubs.
No, you went to restaurants.
I went to the restaurants.
Yeah.
I went to the casino in Kenner called, a little small casino called, it's right there in Kenner, Louisiana, right on the water.
There's so many down there, Luckies and all of them.
I'll get it, but I saw people.
Yeah.
Louisiana, if you go out, you can run into anybody. Yeah. I went to Walmart. I would go to Walmart. I didn't send my assistant to get my stuff for me.
No, you went out.
I went out. I stayed in the neighborhood that wasn't gated.
Okay.
On mine estates wasn't gated.
Oh, you were right there in Kenner.
I was right there, right there on that stretch.
Okay, yeah.
So I saw people and they were bumping to me and they were talking to me like, really? Joe Horn? I was out in the public.
Yeah.
So they knew the love when they came to the game.
That you have for the city already.
Already. It was natural. It was natural love. So man.
So you decided to bring the cameras down there. You're thinking.
I'm thinking.
You're thinking about what you could do.
T.O. came out with the little Sharpie.
Yeah.
I seen Chad and them trying to come out with some celebrations, but I knew where it came from.
Yeah,
I
we all knew where it came from.
I'm on ESPN. Chris Berman got me dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Chad and T.O. wasn't dancing.
Yeah, so now they're trying
to do something else with it. So I said, I tell you what, since they're going to come with the celebration,
I'm going to show them where it started.
Let me do something to shut this down.
Okay.
I knew we were playing the New York Giants. In New York, the number one. What do they call it? The media is the.
Yeah, New York got all of it. Even if they're not
bring the cameras with them. Michael Strahan. I said, so Joe, you got an opportunity. Mike McCarthy gonna get you this ball. You can bring the cameras to the game and shut this celebration stuff down.
Rewrite the book.
It was a Sunday night game. I'm still thinking on how I'm gonna do this because I'm planning and strategizing.
Yeah.
My kids wanted to go to the game, but their mom would not let them go because Monday was school.
Oh, okay.
They had to go to school the next morning.
So that Sunday night game might have been 10 o'clock.
So I'm going out the door like 3 o'clock and they yelling. And I'm like, JC was 4 years old then. Southboard, my other son was like 7 or 8, I think.
Okay.
I'm getting old, I forget. But they were asking me to go to the game. I'm like, I'll call you.
Okay.
So I'm on the way to the game, man. And I'm like, I called Michael Lewis. I said, man, I said, yo, I told my kids I was going to call him, but I need you to do me a favor. Mike was like, what, Hollywood, what you need? I said,
Mike Lewis. Budman?
Beer man.
Budman.
Yeah,
on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Lewis, just real quick, he was a Budweiser truck driver.
Playing in the arena ball.
Came off that Budweiser truck into the NFL.
Got into the NFL. Basically, that's the story.
He was fast.
He was very fast. His speed.
Special team, right? Yeah, he was all special team.
Punt return, kickoff return. Mike was very talented receiver as well. And he was fast. He was from Louisiana.
We loved him.
But that was his. It was his.
So you called him?
I called him. I said, Mike, I need you to put my cell phone up on the goalpost. I don't care. I don't care which one it is. Let me know which one it is, though. He's like, Hollywood, man, are you crazy? I said, dog, he said, I got you, baby. I got you.
Oh, yeah.
He's from New Orleans. Too.
Oh, yeah.
So I know he's down for the down. I said, if they find you, I got you fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about nothing. I gave him my cell phone, and when I get prepared and I walk in that dome, it's personal. I mean, I cry. I cry because I think about Katrina. I think about the fans there. I think about the man that I met at the casino.
See, Joe, I think that comes from. I think that's why you were shining. That's why you were so good because of that. When you got them feelings in you like that, it's something special.
I wasn't playing for the money. I was playing for the fans there, the people there that couldn't afford to come to the games. I was in the hood that couldn't afford those tickets.
That's right.
I was playing because I actually see, Chef. Here's the difference. When you in a dome and you playing professional football and the people around you yelling, it's different when you playing for the money and you playing to get somewhere else to get more money.
Yeah.
But when you know the people that's in that dome in them seats.
Well, you talking to them at the Walmart. You talking to them at the restaurant. You got servers. You got your chefs like me coming out.
That's right. So, man, it was a different feeling. So that night I said, I'm going to make history tonight. And I said, I know I'm going to be in a game plan. Mike McCarthy got me in the game plan.
That's right.
And I'm going to get this rock. So that's why I say I believe in fate, man, because if it wasn't, listen, all Michael Lewis did to me in the pregame, he pointed.
There it is.
He said, is it that
Go get it.
He said, now, I had to remember during the game, one-on-one.
And all those plays. And those D-backs. And those free safeties.
When we on our way to that end zone, I said, Joe, they're falling in that goalpost. I said, you ain't going to have many chances. My quarterback didn't even know. Aaron Brooks did not know. Jim Haslett did not know. No one knew but Michael Lewis.
Michael Lewis and you, the only one in the whole dome.
True story.
Everybody on the sideline.
On my children.
Ooh.
Now, most people would think a quarterback would try to get it to you. Get the phone, y'all. Yeah. No, he didn't know.
No.
So, because when Mike Thomas did it, I think they said he had a phone in both of the end zones.
Right. He was set up.
I don't know. I never talked to Mike about it, but I gave him love for him showing.
Mike, if you out there, give us a call. We won't find that out.
No question. He paid homage, and that was respect. But when it was time, when we were down in the red zone, I said, Joe, here can be an opportunity. And the call that they made was a slant. I had a slant on the DB. And I said, I'm not going to tell AB to give me the The Rock. I'm gonna do my job and beat the guy.
Yeah.
Because I know I was trying.
Yeah.
And I think I had 2 touchdowns at the time.
Okay.
I had 4 touchdowns that night. But that one touchdown, I said, this is your opportunity. I knew that. And let fate have it. If it wasn't meant to be, I would have dropped the ball.
Something would have happened. Something would have happened.
I wouldn't have caught that ball.
Yeah, something would have happened.
So when I got the Rock and I went to the and it's on YouTube. Once I do, I'm looking for it.
We remember. He was down
I
there.
couldn't get it. I didn't find it. So what I did the Andre Rison Spider because he was a Spider-Man in Kansas City. I stuck to the goalpost. Michael Lewis was up under it. You'll see on the video on YouTube. Michael Lewis went up under the goalpost.
Yeah,
he found it. He got it. He gave it to me
because he knew where it was.
He gave it to me. And I took it from him. And that's when I started down at home. I was mimicking down at home.
Yeah.
For my son. They called him and sent a shout out to him. And that was the story. My brother called me.
Man, we went wild in the dome that night.
Man, I knew New York was going to put. I'm going to give you the story. It is funny. My brother told me the next morning, because the Pro Bowl voting was that Tuesday.
Okay.
He said, Joe.
The Tuesday after that Sunday.
He said, you will not make the Pro Bowl. Although I had 10 touchdowns. Listen, I knew I was up to make it again.
Yeah.
It was my 5th Pro Bowl. But he said, they're not going to let you make the Pro Bowl with this. Because it was national news.
They think you're going to do something out there.
He knew, he said, they're going to, he said, here's the sad part. Well, it's not sad because you did it.
Right.
They're not going to remember you for the 4 touchdowns you had.
They don't care about that.
They're going to remember you for that phone. I said, I'm good with that. I said, I'm cool with that. I said,
so was everybody in Louisiana.
I said, because guess what? The next day, you're going to laugh when I tell you this. They captured Saddam Hussein. They captured Saddam Hussein.
The next day.
In New York Times, and you can Google it.
Had you on the...
I was on the front page, and Saddam Hussein coming up out that hole was right beside me.
You did your job.
I did my job. I said, New Orleans Saints on the map.
On the New York Times front page.
Front page the next morning.
Ooh.
Bro, and you know what? Hey.
That's a long way from wearing bags on your head.
That was worth $100 million upfront money to me.
Yeah.
Because I knew 20 years, 40 years, 100 years when I'm gone. My children's children will say my grandpa made history. And it was in Louisiana.
Pull up that internet and bam, there it is.
Hall of Fame, Yellow Jacket. Oh, that's good.
Well, you gonna get that yellow jacket.
No. Shut up.
You gonna
hear me very clear. Hear me very
clear. Okay.
Microphone.
Well, type it up.
I'm a New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame. If I never wear that yellow jacket, I'm just fine, dying.
You know everybody out there right now is going wild.
I'm going to die, go to my grave.
Black and gold.
And get buried in Louisiana. And I'm going to be okay knowing that I didn't make the Hall of Fame and I'm okay and I'm respecting the guy that did. Yeah. I'm okay with it because I know in my career, I brought enough attention to the Saints and I brought the Saints back to Louisiana. My goal was to bring the Saints football team.
Make sure they didn't end up in Texas.
Back to Louisiana. That's my Super Bowl. Now, having a ring is good. I'm not dissing the people, the guys.
Oh, we know.
Sean Payton built that. That's great. I'm happy for those guys. But Joe Horn's Super Bowl was making sure the fans of New Louisiana knew that Joe gave his career and was going to retire if the Saints didn't go back to Louisiana. And the next morning on ESPN, they awarded the Saints back to New Orleans. Yeah. And I cried the whole day because that was my Super Bowl. Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
That's okay.
So man, it's all
that's righteous. That's what they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear that.
That's the facts.
So you heard it right here, Joe Horn, live on the podcast. Yeah. Man, I couldn't ask for another one. Now, real quick, and we about to shut it down, but let's talk a little bit about so we here in South Carolina. If y'all don't know, this is 1801 Grill. Chef Jason Bruner. This is Chef Talk. Everything that we do here is based around food, sports, life, and fun. Yeah. So
tell me about your
Well, when me and you hooked up, you were just coming in to eat.
Yeah, brother.
Somebody told you that there was a guy from Louisiana. Come check him out.
I had to come immediately.
So he came in. We chatted for a second. You ate. Thank you. You even signed the football for me. Yeah, then we got going. Your wife. She wanted to make the pancakes. Remember?
Man, yeah.
So Joe, you got talk about food a little bit. You got the hot sauce.
I got the barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
My own barbecue sauce, my own smoked sauce.
Now that is now the barbecue sauce is down in the casinos and everything down in Mississippi.
Food service, yep.
Yep.
U.S. foods.
And then I remember, so me and Joe played golf together. That we played quite a few rounds. We did quite a few tournaments together.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time we were talking about somebody else. Now I don't know who the other player was, and they made a sausage. And Joe said, "Listen, I got a big name. My name's Joe Horn. I could probably sell some stuff and everything else." He said, when it comes to that food stuff, you can't sell nothing unless it tastes good.
I don't give a doggone.
You don't care whose name that is.
Your fans.
I never forget that.
Your fans will buy the first sausage or buy the first.
Yeah, they gonna buy the bottle and put it up on the counter.
But if it's good,
they gonna buy it
forever. And buy you Joe Horn. It will buy you 87 smoked sausage and the barbecue sauce. It's off the chain.
Once
they eat it, it's still going on today.
So I mean, that's what? How long you been in there? 10 years?
About 5 years.
5 years.
5.5 years.
Okay. So if it wasn't good, like you said, they're gonna buy the first one. You're gonna go through that first round of all the stock that you buy,
and you're done.
And then you're done.
That's anybody. You can have whoever your name is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You put your name on a product and you do it, and it's great.
We are all about good food here.
That's
now,
right.
and now I moved to South Carolina here, and we're talking about food and everything. So I'm bringing kind of that Cajun inspired flavor.
You bring a Louisiana to South Carolina.
Right here.
Right.
Yesterday was Mardi Gras. Now, R.I.P. to Mardi Gras. I know we didn't get a chance to have it this year, but we're going to come back hard next year. Right. But, yesterday we had jambalaya, we had gumbo, we had black and red fish. Now, I do this at the end of every podcast, Joe. I got to know two things. One, what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite dish? You can have one dish. You're on death row right now, Joe. Tell me one thing that you eat.
It's the meatloaf. The buffalo. It's the
I didn't say my food, Joe. Eating food. You still eating the meatloaf?
I eat the po' boy. I eat the po' boy and the shrimp. You bring me the shrimp. What is it called?
No, you like the crab. The crab fingers.
The crab fingers and I ate a po' boy here. You brought me too.
The buffalo shrimp, maybe.
But
you like the meatloaf.
I love the meatloaf.
That's that wild boar, bison.
Yeah.
All wrapped together.
Yeah, all that, man. So I go crazy when I come there, man. My wife had to do, we can't go there because you just eat everything. Chef's not there. You can't have all that stuff.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah, it's not,
so listen here. Joe Horn's favorite here at 1801 is the meatloaf. Next time we're gonna get Joe in here. We'll get him backed up. Maybe we'll get JC in here after the Dallas Cowboys.
No question.
You know what I mean?
Get him on this podcast.
So look, everybody out there, we appreciate all y'all. Keep eating well. Keep eating as much as you can. Come on down and see Chef Jason. Shout out to Joe Horn for coming through today. All those New Orleans Saints fans, we see you and we'll see you next time.